Job one is transportation safety. We spent a lot of time analyzing vehicular and pedestrian accidents in our 2 county areas that covers through our transportation program. Once we analyze those, we look for deficiencies. If we find deficiencies, we work with our state government officials at ODOT and our county officials to correct those deficiencies. Secondly, we get involved in a lot of various different types of funding programs. We're an arm of the Appalachian Regional Commission. Those have different types of funds available for various projects for training, job retention, and job creation. 2 other programs I think is very important to talk about is our efforts with Economic Development Administration, the CARES Act, and those types of projects. The last one I really want to touch on is our efforts with the EPA and securing funds for our Mahoning River. We were able to focus on the 9 dams in the river. We want to get the dams out of the river, the toxins behind the river, and then return the river to its free-flowing state. And why that's important is because when it's a free-flowing state, it becomes clean, it becomes a recreational opportunity, and recreational opportunities are part of quality of life, which are very important when you talk about economic recovery. People are surprised we have a small staff of 15, and we really go in 15 different directions. When I talk about transportation planning, environmental planning, water quality, air quality, the ERC program that I mentioned, economic development, and EPA, we're all over the place. But it's fun when you're successful by chasing those and making a difference in our communities, and we're going to continue to chase those. I think most people would be surprised to learn that I love to work on home improvement projects, and they aren't the small ones. I love tearing into bathrooms, kitchens, and doing all the remodeling myself. Years ago, I've flipped 4 different houses and did all the work myself, and I enjoy that. It's physically demanding, but I enjoy it, and it's rewarding when I'm done. But that's really, and I actually got a couple projects as we speak right now in my own house that I'm working on. But I enjoy that. It's relaxation. I think it's my outlet. I think what makes me feel good about the future is really the renewed spirit of our young people to be involved. To demand change, to not just sit back and accept what's going on if they don't like it. The civil protest, the civil demonstrations, the ability to be involved in our elections, they're looking forward to that, and they're looking forward to their opportunities to volunteer and to make a positive change. And that's something I don't believe I've seen years ago. I have 2 kids, they're 28 and 30 now, and when I talk to both of them, they both express opinions of what's going on in the world, and I will tell you that 5 years ago, they weren't talking about that, and their friends are talking about that. And I think that's positive for us because we have young people looking for positive change. What most concerns me about the world today is the racial and social inequalities that are going on. They're certainly on the headlines of the news every night, and I believe that's just scratching the surface of the real problems. I think we need to work together and be better. The pandemic certainly highlighted some real problems that we have in our own communities. Through the virtual learning, we see that there's students that don't have access to broadband and can't be taught online. And that issue isn't just because they don't have access, it's because they can't afford broadband. So we have to look into that problem. What's really most disturbing through all this to me is the lack of food. We worked with our community foundations to map out the food banks and soup kitchens in our area. We had 26 of them in the 2 counties. When we showed that map and put it out there, we found out that there's lines at every one of them every day that they're open. That isn't right. We can be better. I think we could really be basic in our community, and it starts with just awareness and respect. To be aware of the problems around you and be part of the solution, not part of the continuing that problem forward. And respect your neighbor. Show respect their opinions, their views, and work together. Rich, poor, black, and white, we're all in this together, and that's how we should be moving forward. I would encourage any young person entering the workforce today to really work on their people skills. We're caught in a time where social media, the phones, the internet seem to dominate our lives. Face-to-face meetings, one-on-one conversations will certainly outproduce the latter. You need to have that ability to communicate with people, with your colleagues, your coworkers. That's how you can become successful in your industry. One of my favorite quotes is, "Coming together is beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success." And I think that that quote is summarized in everything we do at Eastgate, and really what we're trying to promote in the Valley, working with our regional partners. When you have a unified vision, when you're working together, when you're sharing strategies and aligning those strategies, that produces more success. And that couldn't have been any more evident in some of the projects that we just recently received funding through our state and federal legislators. The Mahoning River, where we secured the money for the dams, the Youngstown Smart Corridor, where we secured federal money from the US DOT for autonomous shuttles on that project. And as we move forward, our CARES Act money and our Lordstown Build project, all those projects have been prioritized, talked about, and worked with our regional partners, and that's why we'll be successful.